Hello.
Good evening, everybody. Hello, Viv. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to
Hello.
and welcome to Simply Spooky. And myself and Viv are here this evening. And this evening, the topic of conversation, we did say we'd pick one every week. And the one that I think Viv came up with it last week would be apparitions. Now, before we actually start talking in earnest, and somebody out there, if you're out there, can you let us know that we're actually going live and we're broadcasting, please?
They won't, Dan.
Send us a quick message.
They won't, Dan, because I haven't shared it out yet.
Oh, have you not? But there's probably somebody watching, surely, isn't there? Hurry up and cheer, Viv. Hurry up and cheer.
Bear with. God,
watching,
you're so demanding.
I know. I frighten myself sometimes.
Bear with me.
So, Viv is sharing. You got Spooky John there, Jon Snow, the cat.
I'm just making sure I don't knock anything over.
Staging, everybody.
Okay, bear with me.
Right, I don't know if there's anybody out there. Is there anybody out there?
Oh, God. There will be soon.
We normally talk amongst ourselves, but seeing as there's nobody out there, ourselves doesn't count.
Share to a page.
Jon Snow.
Right, I'm sharing, Dan.
Share and share alike.
Do you want to share your side as well? Put it on your newsfeed.
I would do if I knew how to. You'll have to show me another time.
I'll have to give you your daily, what would they call it? IT lessons.
My daily IT lessons.
Yeah. I don't know what my cat's
I'm a Luddite, I'm afraid. I'm not very... I'm technologically challenged, I think the polite way of saying it is.
Do you know, that's a word I haven't heard for a long time, Luddite.
Luddite, I know. Well, I am the epitome of one as far as technology is concerned, which is why I'd be a Luddite.
No,
so there we go. I am from the days of the abacus.
Yeah, okay, right. I've shared it a few times, so
excellent. So
if no one comes on, well, they're just going to have to catch up, aren't they?
Well, absolutely. But if you do come on, welcome one and all, or maybe just one, but welcome either way.
Let us know that you're there in the chat.
Yes,
just by saying
please
hi.
Put a thumbs up or say hi, or whatever. Not once for yes. Oh, we got one viewer. I can see the eye lit up with one person. We got one. One's better than nobody. Welcome that one person. Hello, Jamie. It's Jamie. Hi, mate. How you doing? So this evening, Viv and myself, we're going to talk about apparitions, and we're going to talk about apparitions that we may have seen, and photographs of apparitions. In actual fact, Viv's got a very good rear talent, I would imagine. She's very good at catching photographs of.
I'm going to see what comes up when I press these buttons. When I press these buttons, what comes up? Let's see.
Let's have a look. So
let's see what happens.
I think we're going to look at. Aren't we going to peruse some of the fakes of the paranormal world as well, Viv? Aren't we?
Oops! Oh dear.
Oh!
I don't know what that is.
Me's. One's bad enough. Multiple's terrible. I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Bear with me. Just slight technicalities.
All right, we're finding our way. Viv's got a new laptop and she's just discovering new things about it.
Okay, I'm going to share.
Hi, Chantal. I hope you're all good.
What's this?
I don't know. It's multiple me's again, and you, yeah.
Let me just get rid of that.
Bear with us, Chantal. We'll be with you in a second. We're just, Viv's just giving herself an IT lesson.
I worked it all right last week.
No, exactly, right. Jamie. You beat me to it. Exactly. Don't ask me about the technical stuff. So, yeah. So, Chantal, so you just joined? So tonight's tonight's topic will be apparitions. They will be photographs of apparitions, both fake and real, and we'll point out which are which, or as far as we know, which are which.
Ooh. And can you see this, Dan?
That's one you took. I know that place.
Are you seeing a selection of pictures coming across?
Of photographs.
Okay, so I know that that's working then.
Excellent.
So we'll go with the first one.
Okay.
Cool. So well, I can't see anything. You
tell us about this
Dan.
one, Viv, because can you not see this?
I can't see you, and I can't see anything else. I can just see the picture.
Oh no, that's fine. Excellent. That's all you need to see. That's all you need to see, because the picture is the topic. So
any questions come up?
Vivian took
any questions? Jan? Any questions come up? You're just going to have to shout them out.
Who, me?
Yes, because I can't see them.
Yeah, no problem. Don't worry about that. I'm glad to hear it's all good, Chantal. So this is a photograph with which is which. Which is which? The book.
I'm gonna talk about this picture, Dan, because
I'm going to hand it over to you because this is one of your photographs.
Right. So I took this picture at the Tower of London. So in the chat, can anybody see anything strange that they feel might be paranormal in this picture? Dan, you're going to see those comments in the chat.
Yeah, I can
see them.
We've only got Chantal and Jamie in at the moment, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this picture, I'm able to zoom in. Can you see that, guys, zoomed in?
I can see it, definitely.
Okay,
it's it's as plain as the nose on your face, as they say.
Right. So you've got a stand. You can see a stand there where there's a little...
Not the light, Jamie.
No.
Not the light. Look, as you're looking at it, look below the light to the right.
So can you see my cursor?
Yeah, got your cursor on it. Can see that.
So here we have, John, get your head out of the way. John, we've got the shoulder, the arm. He's holding something there. You can see the guy's rough round his neck, slightly short hair, some kind of facial hair here, and he's wearing a hat. Can you see that?
There you go.
Got his body here.
I'll put Chantal's thing up.
I can't see it, Dan.
Chantal says, I see a hand under the green light in the corner.
Okay, so here is the guy's body, the end of his jacket. He's then got his trousers on and his boots. You can see that one foot is up, but that is super. If you look at it, it's like it's over the top of that stand, which was an information stand there. But that is a beefeater at the Tower of London, a guard. There we go.
There you go.
So where did Chantal see something? Sorry.
So Chantal says, I see a hand under the green light in the corner.
This green light here?
I'm assuming. Is that the green light, Chantal?
If she means this is a bridge. This is part of Traitors. That's part of Traitors Gate. No, it's not. It's one of the other gates.
Where you're pointing, it looks more like a suit of armour to me, at least. I can't see where.
Okay, well, this haunting is known throughout history of a guard that walks along this. Here, that is the Lancaster Tower there, and here the Lancaster Tower is used by residing clergy. On the other side of this tower here, there would be a bit of a green, and just at the bottom here was where they would house the ravens overnight. So this is the walkway to the Lancaster Tower, what the clergy would use. So that guard there is looking after clergy.
So that photo, Viv, just to give everybody perspective, that photo, you couldn't see that person in the flesh, as it were. It just came out in the photograph.
Two of us took the photographs at the same time, and both of us caught it at the same time.
Excellent. But it couldn't be seen with the naked eye?
No.
Right, excellent.
No. So, next picture. I'm going to jump one ahead.
Mm-hmm. I think I know where this is.
And I'm not going to say anything.
I'm not saying.
But this picture was taken at Crowland Abbey, and it was taken in daylight, and you need to look through the archway. This thing, a series of photographs was taken, and you can see a series.
Yeah, in the door, in the doorway, Chantal. Yeah,
a series of this apparition. It started off really light, and then it grew and grew and grew and got quite dark. So this is a full-bodied apparition taken at Crowland Abbey. If I go on to the next picture, it's lightened slightly.
You have seen that picture, Jamie. You have.
See, this one, it's lightened too much. That was earlier. Can you see him there?
I've got you got a, which is fine. You've got the thing going through. I can't see. Can you zoom in again, Viv? Sorry. Whereabouts are we looking? I saw it before in that picture.
Yes.
Can you go again?
There he is. There.
Can you zoom in? Sorry, can't. Yes.
Okay. Let me go back to the other picture because you can see it better. I'm not sure how to come out of that. Hang on, bear with.
Lots of molehills by the look of it.
And that picture there.
There you go. You can see it clearer there.
And there he is there.
You can see it clearer there, definitely.
So that was, I was the only person that took that picture, those pictures, and I was the only one outside at the time. I had a camcorder in my hand and my little camera, so I was taking photographs and filming it at the same time. And yes, I did get both, but my film work is a bit wonky. Let's just say that.
Doesn't matter. It's the content, not the quality.
Okay, no, I don't know how to move on from this, so bear with me, guys.
So that was Crowland.
Right, so let me just come out of here for a minute, because I have to go back in it again. I'm useless at this, I tell you.
Right. It's all right. It's all right.
So I'll share the screen again. Ooh, let me share the screen again and we'll see what we can get. It's going to be a mixture of stuff coming up, Dan.
Ooh, a mixture. Do like a mixture.
Do you like a dolly mixture?
I'll do like a dolly mixture. What's that? Can you see the screen now, Viv? The more I look, the more I see. If you zoom, it looks like a figure leaning against the wall to the left of the arch. Yeah, that's it. That's the one, Chantal. That's the one.
Right, now we've seen that one. I want to do the next one. Oh, hang on. Bear with. I have to come out of this. Why is it doing that? Oh, I don't know why it's doing that.
Ooh. Gremlins in the machine. Or a ghost in the machine, as they say.
There definitely is. Okay, bear with me. I'll get the next one up shortly. Me and technology doesn't work, Dan, as you know.
Same here, mate. Same here. So, yeah, so we thought we'd go through and we talk about apparitions that we've seen throughout the years. And there's been a couple that I've seen that were you couldn't tell if they were living or you could tell that they were spirit because of where they were placed and the fact that it just looked out of place. They looked really out of place.
There we go.
Right, so this one, can you explain this one, please, Viv?
This photo was taken at Castle Rising by a good friend of ours called Andy Radley.
Yeah.
And this was taken in the White Tower. It was taken with an infrared camera, and what alerted Andy was he heard what sounded like long skirts swooshing past. So he took that photo. Now, that is the original photo, but I do have it.
And we were there that night, weren't we?
We were. I do have that photo turned sepia. Bear with me. I do have it somewhere. I might have to come out of this. Bear with. Because if I show you that picture...
So to give you some idea, guys, that photo that Andy took is believed to be of the she-wolf. Not the she-wolf, not a wolf, but a lady they called the she-wolf. I think she was a queen, Viv, wasn't she?
She was. Queen Isabella. She's
Queen Isabella.
She's better known as. And if anybody has any questions...
She was resident there.
Oh, do you know what?
She's reputed to have haunted it anyway, so like it kind of put two and two together, and they think that's who that picture is of her, they believe.
Dan, I didn't save that one down. We're going to have to move on to the next one.
Move on to the next one, that's fine.
But if you want to go back to Queen Isabella, quick, if you take
the person on the floor, Chantal, is a real person, yeah.
If you look
in the room that night.
If you look carefully, you can see the belt on her dress.
She's got that sort of medieval costume, hasn't she, that she's wearing?
Yes. Bear with. I've just done something silly. Okay. Now let me share. Oh, you'll be able to get it now. Oh, why don't they make this thing easy?
Nothing's easy.
There we go.
So we got that back up. So this is the same photo. Yeah, there. So you can see. Can you put the cursor on it, Viv, please? So they can.
So this is a real person here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is a real person here.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to zoom in a little bit. No.
No. Never mind. That's okay.
But see, with this picture,
the long flowing robe.
That's her skirts. That's her belt there.
Go up the body.
And she's wearing some form of a headdress there. Square shoulders, and her arm comes back through here.
Which was interesting because we were getting activity in there that night, weren't we? In that room, that chamber.
Just here, it's a shame because when it's in sepia, you can see it lovely. You can see her. She's got 2 dogs at her feet, and they're actually Irish wolfhounds, which is a shame you can't see.
It was an interesting photo. Didn't Andy catch a couple of photos that evening? I can't remember.
He did actually, yeah.
He did, didn't he?
He did. He only gave me this one. He trusts me, you see.
He does.
Any questions about this one? We'll move on to the next one.
I think we're all right at the minute, Viv.
Okay, on to the next.
Right.
This picture is blurred, and this picture was taken as I was walking. So you'll see light reflecting, but the blur here from the spotlights here and here and here and here. The whole thing is just blurred. Okay.
Hi, Mary.
But this is what you need to concentrate on, right at the end of the bar. You see him?
Yeah.
So this is a man that I heard this door here open and close. That's when I grabbed the camera, turned and took the photographs, a series of snaps, and it resulted in this. Now you can see this man standing at the bar here. You can see his face. He's got a bicorn hat. You can see his jacket, and you can see his elbow and his arm here at the end of the bar. I did try and sort of soften it a little bit.
There you go.
Doesn't work very well though.
You can get the gist. You can see the outline of him.
Yeah, and you can see his bicorn hat really well, and that short haircut that he's got too. Yeah. But that was taken in a pub. So obviously he's come in, wants his pint of ale before he goes off and does whatever it is he wants to do. But they're the original. There's the pictures side by side. There you go. You see them?
There you go. Got those. Can you still see them, Viv?
I can still see them, yeah. Can you?
You can see them. Yeah. It's great. Yeah, we can see it perfectly.
Okay. Do you want the next one?
Go for the next one.
This photograph was taken in what used to be a courthouse. And I used to do a thing called kamikaze photographs. Knowing that there's nobody upstairs, I ran upstairs with my camera, opened a door, took a photo, went on to the next door, you know, like you do, sort of thing. Not actually walk into the room, just open the door, take a picture and move on. So this is that same photo coming up. I lightened it up. Now, I knew that a fellow investigator was in this room, but what I didn't count on was this. Oh, they're both dark. Oh, where's bear with. Both dark ones were loaded.
Oh, you got the fella back?
Bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. I will try and get the lightened one for you. Bear with me. Can you still hear me, Dan?
Yeah, come through loud and clear. Sorry,
any
guys,
questions coming up?
We'll start doing a proper talking and chatting to each other in a minute.
Are there any questions in the chat, Dan?
No. Chantel asks, is that the pub your spirit guide dragged you into? If I've got a spirit guide, he drags me into any pub, every pub. Dragging me out, I have a problem with.
Yeah. Bear with. There we go. They all look... Oh, I see. Okay. Bear with me. I have got the lightened version. Right. I wanted it without the red circle.
You are looking at a black screen here, guys. You're not looking at a shadow person in the dark room. You're all right.
Okay, so if I do that one.
How you doing, Viv? You winning?
Yeah, it's looking good.
Good. Good.
Right, so if I come back now, guys, bear with me. Can you see me again?
Can see you, but nothing's come up as yet, photo-wise.
Okay.
Oh, I'm back in the room now. Both are.
I'm going to disappear again.
Oh, yeah.
This is so exciting. If I can, if it lets me.
If not, we can just talk about apparitions, can't we? It's not a problem.
One day I'll have this all sorted, you know.
That's all right. Don't worry. Sorry, guys. We'll talk about apparitions anyway. So obviously, we wanted to show some sort of photographic evidence of apparitions, and we also wanted to show you conflicting photographs. So we wanted to show you the photographs that have been, I don't really like the term debunked, but photographs that have been credited. Right. Okay. So Viv, go on.
Right. Okay. So let me just hide this. This was the original photograph taken. Now, somebody who's not a seasoned investigator will look at that and go, okay, delete. But what I did, I saw something and lightened it. And what you will see, this here and the reflection in the window is my colleague. That's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in this here because it stands, that's just all a dance floor. This is not natural. So when you looked at it further, you can see it's a very old cloak, you know, like the court ushers would have worn. They would have had a cloak that's two-tiered, and he's actually bending over, so you can't see his head. But literally from neck to the floor, you've got him in his entirety. This here is a part of a chandelier, not lit, and this is the reflection from the chandelier. But through that, you can see this figure standing here, and that would have been known as a court usher. Okay. So I'm going to move on, Dan, to another one now, which is a famous picture.
It is famous. And again, this one has been discredited, hasn't it?
It's been proven to be a fake.
Yeah.
And it is actually...
Can we zoom in on that, Viv, at all?
It's actually, this when you look at this, it's been around for so many years.
Yeah,
so many years.
So you can see...
He's standing on the steps of the altar there, look.
You can just about... I can't really point it. Can you put your cursor on it, Viv, please? There you go. So there you got the apparition there. And almost like he's got a handkerchief over his face. Well, that got... For years and years and years, people believe that to be a credible photo. But obviously, as time goes on, the advancement in technology helps clear up a lot of these misnomers. And so somebody zoomed in on his face, and right behind where the holes are, you can make out a reflection of a pair of glasses.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll be able to get that.
I don't know if you can, but they did. I don't know if you can make it, but he made out a reflection of a pair of glasses. It was like he was throwing light back, and from that he deduced that it was what he believed to be a fake. It's good.
Great picture, though, isn't it?
Sorry?
Great picture, though, and it did a lot for Newby Church, didn't it?
It did.
A lot of people would come there afterwards.
A lot of people went there. And it's particularly for the time. I mean, it's quite a work of art in itself, really. And had he have not thought about, obviously, we didn't think about people in the future looking at it, had he have thought about taking those glasses off, he may very well have thought about it. We may still well have believed it was a real one to today.
Exactly.
But that's a pretty cool photo. Even that's a photo.
Cool. Sorry. Hang on. That's me. Told you I weren't technical, didn't I? Ready for the next one, Dan?
Indeed. This one intrigues me a lot. This one really intrigues me. It was a stately home, and the guy was a lord, I believe. And he'd passed away. And I think it was one of his family just took a photo of his room. And if you look in his chair, you can see there's an apparition that is of the Lord. This is obviously weeks after he'd passed, I believe, months even possibly. But you can see that he's still sitting in his chair.
When you look at that,
and you can see he's got that sort of, you can see through effect. Sorry, Viv?
When you look at that, though, Dan, I would say this is a fake. And the reason I would say this is a fake, Dan, if you look at this picture, it's a partial apparition.
Yeah.
It only goes down to his waist.
Mm-hmm.
One hand firmly on the chair, and then his face is obscured. There's too many red flags in this picture for me to say.
It's real. I think that's genuine. Yeah. I think it's genuine, that one. But then who knows? There are so many bloody good fakes around. It's so hard to tell. I mean, personally, I think that's genuine because
there's too much.
There's light bleeding through, but you can't argue that is. You can't argue that is.
But why would it bleed through here and obscure whatever this is?
It's an old photograph, isn't it? They didn't have things like what do they call it? These different settings to turn down light, and then. Because obviously now, if you go into a dark room, you can turn up the gain and stuff on your camera or bring it down, but you couldn't then.
For me, on this one personally, I would have to look into this more. I'd want to see more. The jury's out on that one for me.
Well, I saw they did a program on these photos, and that one came up, and it's still in the family possession. The family still have that photo today. His ancestors,
or they have the negatives.
Ancestor. They've got, well, I don't know, they've got the photos, so I'm assuming they probably have got the negatives. But it was taken by one of the family.
Because it would have been on plate, wouldn't it? Judging by the time,
it looks to be sort of 1800s, late 1800s, sort of coming into the early 20th century. But it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
But for me, that's real. And of course, it might not be an apparition of a spirit. It might just be place memory.
Yes.
It could be
what
just
is that
place
on
memory.
The table? See, I'm just looking at the bits on the table. It's very hard to Yeah, very hard to work it out.
I like it. I think to me that's plain. There's the nose on your face, as they say.
All right, next one.
Next one.
If I can get it. There we go. I love this picture. This one amazes
now, this was
me, Dan.
taken in 1919, and this was the RAF at the time. They used to be the RFC, so they were Royal Flying Corps, but after the First World War, they changed to the RAF, or sometime during the First World War, they changed to the RAF. And this guy here that you see, they've circled him. He was killed 2 days before this photo was taken, yet he appeared in the photo.
Behind,
he's in the lineup somewhere behind there somewhere.
Let me see if I can find him.
Is there any way we can zoom in on that, Viv? Sorry, that's like...
I'm going to see if I can find him.
Right, let's have a look. I think he was at the back, I think. I think that's him. Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3,
there.
4. Yeah.
The fourth one in at the back, but behind him is the apparition.
That's
sort of
it.
behind him on the shoulder there.
That's it, yeah.
So that's what that is. That's what you're looking at there.
Him.
That
was him.
I don't know if I zoom in anymore, it's going to get to...
No, it's perfect. I can see that perfectly.
You can just about see his face there.
Very intriguing. It was like they were saying that it was like he didn't want to miss the photo opportunity. But yeah, I think it's a great photo, that one.
That's an amazing picture, that one.
Yeah, it's brilliant, that one.
Absolutely amazing. Is there any questions about that picture? No questions in the chat?
No, nothing. No. So this one, I think people have tried to look at ways to discredit it, but they can't.
Hang on.
That one you can. And this was taken... I can't remember where it was. It was a stately building. I think it was an ex-naval building or something. I think it was in London. I might be completely wrong on this.
It's not Greenwich, is it? It's not in Greenwich,
I think it's somewhere, but you can see the apparition with both hands on they're both on the banister rail, and it's moving up what looks to be the outside.
Do you know what, Dan? I can see two things here. So you have the apparition here that looks quite solid with both hands on the rail, his head sort of down. But here, you also have something else here that's appearing.
So Chantel says she's took a screenshot and she will go look closer in Zoom just now. Good. So, yeah, there's a lot going on in that photo. I do like that. I mean, even if it's not real, it's not been discredited by anybody, but
no,
I think it's a fantastic photo.
Do you know what I can see, Dan? If you look at the apparition, he actually has a belt on here.
Yeah, I can see.
He has a belt on here.
I think they said it was a woman.
No, I think it's a knight, because if you look here, that could be chainmail here.
Yeah, it could.
And then you've got that comes down here, and that's the skirts and a belt. He's obviously got no gloves on, but it looks like...
it does. It does look like an angel with the shadow at the back.
Yeah, angel and his knight.
Yeah, it looks very odd. But I think it's fantastic. I think it's
I love that picture. I love it.
Beautiful.
Great picture, isn't it?
It is. It's superb. Absolutely superb.
And then we come to a really big fake picture.
Yeah.
One of the most famous faked pictures of all time.
It was. And a lot of people still won't have it that this is fake, but it is. It was completely shot out of the water, wasn't it, Viv?
Yeah, it was taken at Raynham Hall at low shutter speed.
Is it the Brown Lady?
It is the Brown Lady, of Raynham Hall.
Brown Lady of Raynham Hall.
And the guy that took it come out and said it was a fake.
Oh, well, there you go. Then you can't get more. You can't get more of an endorsement than it been a fake than the man who took the photo come out and say it's a fake.
Yeah.
No, it's good. I like it though. I still like it.
It's very famous, Dan.
It is.
It's used by paranormal groups today, isn't it?
Is purportedly and reputedly haunted. So, but that's not the.
But Dan, paranormal groups still use that today, and are adamant that is a real picture. No, it's not.
No. People don't research the topics in their field, do they? They just run away with it. Oh yeah, that'll do.
Yeah. Any questions about that?
I like the photo. I think it's a pretty cool picture.
I do have one more picture on here. I don't know if I'll be able to get back to it now.
Let's have a look.
What happens when you get to the end of the line? Oh yeah, you can zoom across. Then we have this one.
That was the one that was like you showed. That was that last week. That was it. Yeah,
I showed that last
the
week.
And the horse.
Yeah. But I'm not going to go into that again now.
But a great picture.
Right, so let me come back out of here. I'm going to stop sharing.
1, 2, 3, back in the room.
Well, she says it might take me a while.
It's all right. We'll get there. There you go. We're back.
I'm back again.
Yes. We are back. With a bang,
Dan,
as they say. Dan,
that was heavy going.
It's all right. We got it. We got there in the end. It paid off. It paid off.
Did they look okay?
Yeah, really good. Came across really good. So that's it. That's the proof is in the pudding, as they say.
Hello
it came across really well.
Everyone watching in the chat, hello.
So we've got 3 in the chat at the moment. There's Mary.
Where's everyone gone?
Chantal and Jamie. I don't know if Jamie's still in there. Are you still there, Jamie?
Jamie, come and speak to us.
Come on, Jamie. No, just tap once on the keyboard for yes. Oh, Deborah Clements was there. Hi, Deborah.
Oh,
yeah, we find it
interesting.
Hi, Deborah. As well, Deborah.
Hi, Debs. Oh, Debs is lovely. She is. I do love Debs.
So those are the photos of the apparitions. We just wanted to talk about. I mean, I've seen some photos taken by people that they believe them to be apparitions, and they're completely not apparitions. They're, they've been got pareidolia.
Yes.
And I've seen a fair few of those.
Very prevalent.
And it gets to the point where you can't convince people because they believe what they've got is factual. They believe what they've got is a spirit, and do you know what? I'm fine to let them run away with the idea. If they're happy with that, then they're happy with that. But overall, yeah, I've seen some over the years, but people have come to me with photos of apparitions, Viv, and I've always said, I haven't got the ability or the expertise to give you a yay or a nay on that. So I always point them in the direction of somebody who does it, somebody who's in the photographic industry.
I've got a program on my system that I used to run it through. Hi, Paul.
Hi, Paul. Hope you're good, buddy.
So I used to run it through a program on my system, which would help me sort of decipher, and I could also play with the tones, the tones and the colours in the photographs, and that I would spend hours on one picture. Seriously,
but it's amazing, isn't it? How you can change the grade of the lighting, or you can change the colour.
It shows a lot.
Sometimes you've not even been looking at.
Yes, it shows so much.
Completely random. You think, well, hang on, I didn't notice that.
Well,
that's one of the good things now, isn't it? About technology.
Well, when I teach people, and I'm talking about what software you should be having on your system, like these most ghost hunters will take a picture on their phone and they just run it through that. And yes, while they're good cameras on your phone, you need to take independent pictures on your cameras. Hi, Wayne. How you doing?
So Chantal says,
hang on a minute.
The problem is we are wired to take any 2 points of reference as eyes and then our brain. Yeah, exactly. It's all part of our evolution.
But Dan, what I was trying to say is, with each photo that they take, people are too busy. Well, I'll take it on my phone and that's it. No, you need a laptop to download your phone onto. You need a laptop to put your pictures onto. You need a bigger screen. And on that laptop, or on there, you also need the software. So you take it down from there, wherever you're downloading it to, and you're downloading it onto the software, and you look at that one photo through that software before you press the delete button.
Well, the thing is as well,
that's what people are not doing.
These editing suites now are so easy to come by, and they've got the ability to just run them through different programs and look at the you know, the different aspects of a photograph, to
But the
expand it,
editing's-
to decrease it, to change
Yeah.
the colour, to change the lighting. So it gives you, there's no reason
the
that you
problem,
take a photo, there's nothing there. Or, oh, look
problem,
at that. You've got to really grade it through every process.
no, the problem is the individual putting the pictures on.
Yeah.
Dan. That's
yeah, exactly.
what the problem is. People don't want paranormal investigators, not like you, me and you anymore,
No.
where we'll sit and analyse anything. They just want a quick fix. And
Oh,
because they won't do the work, they're missing out on so much, which is why you don't see so many apparitions and things anymore, because people are not looking for them.
Well, it worries me as well. I mean, you know, you see some of these photos that people take random. They take which is great, you know. Perhaps they feel compelled to take a photo, or perhaps they're just randomly taking photos for whatever reason. But if you don't do the homework, then they just there's nothing there. Boom, delete. Nothing there, delete.
Yeah.
Well, you could be deleting some amazing stuff.
Exactly.
But you're not looking at it. You're just, oh, that's dark. Well, lots of things hang around in the shadows, as you know, Viv. When I edit pictures, I like to play with the black point if you change exposure somewhat. Yeah. Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Not even so much the black point. It's going through all the grey scales and manipulating the colour. If there's something in there that somebody is saying that is definitely an apparition, you put it in there and put it in the colour process. Let the colour pick it out, and sometimes you'll find that it will completely disappear out of the picture, which makes me believe, I don't know, was it there in the first place? Is it pareidolia? I think you have to use all the scales. Just play with it inside and out, up and down, back to front, and just see what happens. I mean, sometimes the most easiest pictures are you take the picture and all you do is turn it sepia. And when you turn it sepia, you jumped, Dan. Behave yourself.
I didn't touch that. I didn't do that.
So when you turn it sepia, it will just literally jump straight out at you because it was there in the first place, and you're doing nothing more than that.
Over edited photos.
Oh yeah.
It looks like there's nothing there, but the way they've done it, the picture somehow quite weird. Church Farm is very, very it's very good for getting photos. The shadow figure standing inside Jacqueline Dixon tried taking the same look. Yeah. We've got a photo, and we've got it on video as well, of an apparition standing by the farm. We couldn't see it with the naked eye. But somebody told Gary to take a photo, and then we went and reviewed the camera footage on the CCTV that we had with us. CCTV, we had just a normal camera.
Yeah.
And there was a girl standing right, like you could make out the outline. It was quite, it was quite distinct, but it was grey and black. But she was there, little girl standing there looking at us. Wow. We couldn't see with the naked eye, but that was cool. And you
got that on you're just on your pictures.
Gary just got it. He got it on a photo. It was just, he felt like, I'll take a photo for some reason. So obviously somebody, for whatever reason, whether a spirit had said take a photo or what have you. I'm on the phone, but I do check them on. Yeah, exactly. And that is it.
That's the thing.
Checking them on the laptop. It's checking them afterwards. Yeah, people manipulate them. Yeah. People do call you out for it. Yeah, you can't win, can you, with some people? No. You really can't win with. Hi, you Bill. Hope you're good. What's all this brouhaha? But I've seen some amazing photos, and then I've seen over editing, and But what really gets me is when Twitter take a photo and they go, didn't get anything, and then delete it, and you think you could have got rid of so much there.
Yeah,
you know.
Hang on, Jan. Got one more.
Hi, you Lois. Hope you're all good. Ooh.
She's got squinty eyes.
Squinty eyes, eh?
She's gone.
Spending too much time studying.
She spent too much time in the Chinese shop.
I had squinty eyes, but for a totally different reason, unfortunately.
Damn!
So,
yes. Before we go any further, can I just say, get get better soon, Mark.
Yes, mate.
Both Dan and I are sending you out some healing energy and prayers and thoughts and whatnot. So
we were chatting about you today, but in a positive way.
Yes.
You know.
So you've done it before, you can do it again. Just remember that.
Say no more. Tough cookie.
So come on, Dan. Apparitions.
Apparitions.
So
what's the best apparition you've ever seen?
Seen?
With the naked eye.
Those 4 wraith things, whatever they were. They're the best and most scariest.
They were cool, weren't they?
No, they weren't.
They were cool. I thought they were cool because I just, just ghosts. That's the thing with me. But yeah, they were amazing. They were like a wraith, weren't they? They were your archetypal wraith types.
We don't know what they were, so that's why it's not good.
No, but they had that. They epitomised that sort of what you would envisage a wraith to look like, or what general consensus of opinion is. Oh, they've got these raggedy clothes and they're lost souls, and I mean, whatever it was, I found it amazing.
They epitomised what,
and the fact that they really weren't bothered by our presence was, and they were coming close. They were interested, which was amazing.
They epitomise what you would see on Scooby-Doo.
Same as me, Mark.
They epitomise what you see on Scooby-Doo.
They do. I'm Irish and stubborn, says Mark Manley. Same as me, mate. Same as me.
I have a question. So we're talking apparitions. Why do you think we are not seeing so many apparitions now posted on social media? Why do you think that is?
Personally, I think there's probably some fantastic photos out there, some fantastic evidence out there, but I think people are now frightened to post stuff for ridicule or for people ripping it apart.
But
gone are the days, I think,
you say that.
Yeah,
but Dan, you say that, but people are posting orb pictures. Yeah, when they're getting
on orbs.
But when you get a partial apparition or a full-bodied apparition, people are more scared to post them than they are orbs. Why is that, Dan?
I genuinely think that the people do not want to get their, they've taken it. That's evidence enough for them, and people won't put it out there anymore because there's too many people out there that want to ridicule it and discredit it. And of course, what you're doing is you're questioning the person's validity, and you're questioning the person's moral compass in saying, well, it's not real, or you've done that, or that's a load of rubbish. And I mean, the thing that really annoys me, and it was said, and it was like, there was a photo taken by, it was on Dawn's team, do you remember, years ago. And I know that the spirit was there because we'd had interaction with it on an investigation. And he turned out to be quite a nice fellow, this spirit. But there was a photo taken of him, and it was, you couldn't mistake it. It was a man looking around a corner, and he was, William, and he was just looking out. You couldn't mistake it. And then they tried to show it to people, and it blew us away. And then it was taken to an American chap who we showed it to, and really annoys me. Oh no, that's too good to be real. Why? Why is it too good to be real? That's what annoys me when people say, yeah, that's too good a photo. That's too good a photo to be real. I don't understand what they mean. Why can't it be a good photo? Why can't it be, why can't it look like a person standing there? And that's what pees me off a lot of the time. They do, Lois, they do. And it annoys me. Yeah, there are a lot of fake ones out there, but it's not unless I can get a photo and I can run it through some sort of program and discredit it myself, or it's been discredited by renowned photographic experts, then I'm not going to call anybody out for a fake photo because it's not my place. Yeah.
Deborah says, leave it to Americans.
Deborah, it's not just American. All I'm saying is it was that the fellow that it went to was an American, but then it consequently and subsequently been said by other people, along like British people, whoever. Yeah, no, that's too good to be real.
The problem is, right, and this is for me, and I take a lot of apparition pictures.
I'd love to,
Okay.
loads. Yeah.
So the reason I don't post them unless they are fully watermarked is because I have had my work plagiarized too many times. And that is the only reason I do not post on social media.
Social media.
Yeah. So unless I've got my watermark there set in place and it's all over it, I do not post it. And to be honest, I think you saw the last one that we took last year when you was there, Dan. And I took a series of pictures of this particular person moving. Now, it was put on social media. And those that are not into the group striking midnight won't see it. But it wasn't made a big thing of because it's hiding a secret. The secret is not to do with us. It's a mystery around the place that it was taken. So we didn't make a big thing out of it. And that's why I will not post my work now on social media. It's got nothing to do with the bullies. I mean, come on, if you think you're going to bully me, come and fucking bring it, because you will not get into my head. I'm telling you that now. I'm too long in the tooth.
Well, the people that the people that are on here, the people that actually that we credit, the people that we trust and we credit, people that are on here, for example, they're the people that we would show photos to.
Yeah.
Because there's so many out there that you couldn't trust. Oh, yeah. Oh, Mark Manley's invited. Mark has invited us back. He said we need to go back on the Dark Mirror radio show with Wayne and himself. We'd love to, wouldn't we, Viv? We'd love to, Mark, please.
The thing is, though, I think we're too long in the tooth, like these newer groups that have come on, and they might be doing it for 1 or 2 years. They are so scared about not fitting in. The people that I know and Dan knows, we know too many what I call experts in the field. When I say experts, they have their PhDs. They have their masters and their PhDs. And you know what? Unless you're holding one of those, you are not, I'm afraid, an expert.
No,
and it's these people that we would go to. We don't care about what so-and-so group think about this, or whether they're going to do a podcast about us. I wish they would, because in my eyes and in Dan's eyes, if they're not slagging us off, we ain't made it. And I've already been slagged off. I've been slagged off so many times. It's like, boring. Next.
Exactly. Now, this is interesting. Mark's put this up. Yeah. That's about right, Viv, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's exactly right, Mark. Morons.
Now we go this one.
Oh, yeah, Eddie, man. Hi, you, Ed. Oh, Eddie. I need just a man to speak to you. I need to speak to you, buddy.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours. I like that, Eddie.
I'll send you a message tonight, but you probably know what it's in relationship to anyway. I hope you're well, Eddie. Yeah.
Science doesn't always destroy beliefs. Science actually works sometimes for beliefs, and it depends on whether the beliefs are ludicrous beliefs or, come on, they're okay beliefs. It depends on the belief system, but you'll find that science is actually working now hand in hand, and the more that science progresses, the more they're actually doing for certain beliefs. It's unreal. I've been following a bit of the science side of it just lately. I've been
following a lot of surgeons that are dealing with NDEs, near-death experiences. Yeah. It's bloody interesting. And the general consensus of it, and it is the general consensus of opinion now, is that there is something other than what they can perceive.
Oh, yeah.
That a lot of them are coming out and saying, yeah, I've many pictures sent me proof. Yeah.
The problem is with pictures and actually using it as proof. You need a series of photographs. You need to have more than one person in the room when the the picture is taken. You have to have all the other bits that go in with it, as well as just that picture. Do you know what I mean? For it to be regarded as...
Mark, take it easy, buddy. Speak to you soon, brother.
You jumping ahead?
Yeah, I didn't want to put that up because it's like I thought it was you saying goodbye. Take it easy, buddy.
So
that's the thing on it. It's
I have, Dan. It's not an apparition, but I do have that piece of film here taken with the phone experiment. If people want to see it, I can stick that up.
Yeah, what do you
think? If anybody wants to see that, just say in the chat and I will find it for you.
It's amazing. It is amazing. And that's a word that's bandied about a lot, but it is an amazing piece of...
But if we do play it, Dan, you're going to have to talk over it and explain what's happening, because I won't be able to see it. Well, you do,
because you were the one that did the experiment. So
yeah, but I won't be able to see it. I'll be playing it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is that right?
Yeah, it's fine. Science, beliefs and religion. Yeah, they are, Wayne. Yeah.
Okay. Go on then, Viv. Okay, let me see if I can find it.
Go on then, Viv. Yeah, it's very, very intriguing and interesting piece of audio.
Dan, do you want to tell people what it is that they'll be looking at?
The video or the actual audio?
The whole thing, what it is. Yeah.
So Viv went... Shall I tell them where it was done?
Yeah.
So Viv went on an investigation at Codner Castle, and she decided to do an experiment, and the experiment was communicating with the dead through a telephone. And obviously there were two phones, and one of the phones was set up in a room, one of the bedrooms upstairs in one of these. Now, these cottages are really haunted, or at least they were when we initially started. I think they might have dwindled off a little bit now. But I defy anybody to say they don't believe in the paranormal go there, because, or you should have gone there maybe in the early days, because that would have got, I mean, there was everything going off. Anyway, they got two phones. One was placed upstairs. They phoned it, and then it was answered by one of the, and then it was left open. The line was open, and then the investigators went back down. The phone was open upstairs in a room. And then what you hear is Viv communicating with the spirit in the building. But the odd thing about it is the spirit is watching a TV. And Viv says, can you turn it down? He turns it down. You can even hear the audio off the TV. It's a war film or a Western, if I remember rightly. And it's amazing. And Viv gets it. I think, doesn't the guy tell you his name or something?
Yeah, he does, yeah.
He does. I don't know if the guy had sort of learning difficulties, what have you, but he comes across as he like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But he might not have. It might have just been a normal spirit, but that's the only way, that's the level he communicate at.
Do you know what? I'm trying to find it now. I had it earlier. I'm trying to find it now. Can I find it?
Can you not find it? Ooh, spooky in itself. But yeah, it's interesting because it is like a two-way communication with the spirit using the telephone. Well, the interesting thing is, I tried to say to somebody once, the thing with like phones and stuff like that, these were all initially developed as spiritual communication tools in the early days. But later they were modified for just general use, public use. But they were all initially the idea, the grain of an idea, or the seed of an idea came about by trying to communicate with spirit. And this is why a lot of the stuff that was invented during sort of turn of the century in the Victorian period, coming through to the 1900s, 20th century, is there was a massive surge of development because it was done to communicate with the spirit, because the Victorians were besotted and they were enamored and completely struck with the idea of communicating with those that had passed on. And of course the First World War helped that, with a lot of people losing family. But it's it's fantastic. And Viv, are you still having trouble locating it, Viv?
I mean, hang on. I'm in a Codner Castle now.
Now the thing is, people could argue, well, you're picking up stray transmissions. You're picking up You know, you're picking up something from another telephone or another house or what have you. But it was checked. Hiya, Terry. Hope you're good, buddy. But it was checked. The next day, it was checked with the providers, the line providers.
Yeah.
And they said, no, there's no way to do that. It's not. They're not set up for that. It's impossible. I don't even think science has set them up for picking up on stray radio waves or what have you. But it's interesting.
Yeah, we did have Samsung.
It was Samsung, yeah.
And you spoke to Apple.
And
Apple.
Both providers and both dealers was spoken to, weren't they?
Yes.
And they both came back with no, it can't do that. So there are obviously lots and lots of stories out there, which is always one that's intrigued me, that the spirits of those that are deceased communicate through telephone calls slightly after their death, or at the moment of their death, or even weeks and months and possibly years. And even things like people are getting stuff from telephone where the line has been discontinued because the person passed away, but they're still getting what they call the text messages from this person. So it's quite odd.
It's not letting me access it, Dan.
Is it not?
No.
Well, that's all right. We can get that on at another time, can't we?
Yeah, we'll put that on another. We can just talk about that on another show.
We'll do that on another show.
But it's funny. I saw it, and I thought, oh, I wonder if I'll have to send that to you, Dan. But no, I have just got too much on this external hard drive. I'll be here all night looking.
But even that piece of evidence that you've got there was almost stolen by people trying to pass it off as theirs, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why people think that they need to do that. I mean, it's silly, really.
I know. If it's not yours, it's not yours, is it? It's simple as that.
But that's the reason why we just tend to. I've got one more place to look at. It's just silly why they think they're gonna get anything out of it. That's just.
Eddie's made a good point here. Actually, I'm going to put Eddie Mallett's post question thing up. So Eddie says that's the thing. Once too many people go to a site, the less active spiritually a haunted bloke. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that actually, Eddie. And I think I don't
agree.
Well, I think it depends on the people you get in there as well. If you get a lot of arseholes go in there, or people with the wrong intentions, then it becomes flat.
See, I don't agree. I've been to a place that's been done over and over and over again, and yet, yes, it has its flat times, but other times it's not the haunting of the actual place that then is now showing itself. It's what these other teams have done in the place that's now beginning to show.
That's what I mean. If you get negative people in there, then that can have I believe that can have an effect on the level of activity that you get.
But it doesn't make it. Yeah, but it didn't make it flat though. It made it different. Is the word? Yeah.
No, I've been to places where it's gone, where there's been activity, and you can feel it. It's tangible, palpable. But then another couple of teams will go in. They'll open it up to other teams, and then by the time you go in there, nothing.
Really, I've never had that.
Gone. Whatever's it's just gone.
So I've never had that.
There's no. I've had it in a couple of places, and it's all down to either the negativity or, as you said quite rightly, what other teams do there.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely right.
Because sometimes these teams. They just act like idiots, or
it's the wrong intention, isn't it? Or for the wrong reasons, I mean, if you're haunting a building, say you're a spirit and you're in a building, right? People go there and they want to communicate with you. Yeah, I'll communicate with you in the early days, yeah. Or if you've got a team in that's credible, yeah, I'll communicate with you. You're here for the proper reason. But then if you get thrill seekers going through the doors, like anybody, alive or dead, you're going to go, no, bollocks to this.
But then, if I'm a residual apparition that's not going to communicate with you anyway, and I'll only appear 2 or 3 times a year on a certain date, you're not going to see me at any other time.
Well, no, that's right. But what I'm saying is, that there's still an essence of something there. But once
but you won't see it.
Have gone in there, it's gone. I mean, I've been in buildings where it's gone completely flat. I'm not saying it's not haunted, but what I'm saying is that the activity and whatever was there at the point has now gone.
See, for me, it's completely different. For me, I feel the opposite. I really do feel it depends on the people you go with and do your energies work well together, that you do see.
Yeah, and it's probably a mixture, isn't it? I mean, Codmer Castle was like that for me. And even Dawn, I mean, not even Dawn, but Dawn picked up on that as well. We went there and it's like something's changed.
Yeah.
Something has changed, physically changed in this building. I mean, I'm not a medium, I'm not a psychic, I'm nothing like that. But over the years, you can pick up on energy. Like when you go into a building where people have had an argument, you don't need to know they've had an argument to walk in and feel the atmosphere.
Exactly.
You can pick up on that energy, can't you? And it's the same with spiritual energy. I think over the years, you become acclimatized to it. Like you, Viv, or me, or any ghost hunter that's been doing it for a long time, paranormal investigator, you can walk into a building, you can tell if that building holds some form of negative energy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where bad things have happened.
I definitely feel it's yourself, your frame of mind before you go, then who you go with, are the energies correct, and have you done your homework on the place that you've been before you've gone. All those things matter. They all matter. People say, oh, I don't like doing research on a place before I go. Well, how are you going to know where to investigate then?
I also like the idea that, you know, I mean, if you're respectful when you're there for the reason of researching, finding out personal stories and interacting because you want to further the knowledge of yourself and other people on the paranormal field, then I think that they're willing to interact with you. But if you're just going to go there for fun and arsey, just like take the piss and what have you, you're not going to get, I don't think you're going to get much. No.
And as well, right, you can be forgiven if it's never been investigated before. It's very quiet. It's a first. It's a first. It's never been done before, and you know that sort of thing. You can be forgiven for that because it's something that a real investigator was going to go back over years, put the work in, find out, keep going back, keep comparing, going back through the history and the records. And it's something that is going to keep coming back over and over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? And it's not like a one-off. Let's do it to see if we can get a scare and then not bother going back again.
And that's the thing. And another thing that really annoys me as well, where you get a lot of these paranormal teams that I'm talking about TV now, and even some YouTube teams where they'll go somewhere, they'll do like, I don't know, 6-7 hours investigation there, and then they'll declare a property not haunted. And it's like, you can't declare a property because, as you quite rightly say, apparitions might appear at certain times, certain dates. We don't know. And also, you haven't got the experience of that property to discredit it by saying it's not haunted.
Yeah. It's like William says, if you don't understand the vibrations, you'll get negativity.
Exactly, William.
Not necessarily.
So I think, go on.
Not necessarily. I think sometimes, but not always. Because we all vibrate. Everything vibrates.
Everything's a vibration.
And just because I haven't learned or haven't felt that particular vibration, it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing or it's negative. It's just that I don't understand it.
Yes. Oh, sat on my arm. Yeah. It must be dependent to personalities don't change, do they? So it's dependent on the spirit and the personality or the attitude of the spirit, you know. Exactly, Terry.
Yeah, but my respect might not be the same as your respect. So what is respect at the end of the day?
Well, to me, respect is going into a property, and I know that you've got a different idea when, obviously, if you're regarding with paedophiles and things like that, no respect necessary, scum. So that, you know, you deal with them as you want to deal with them. But I think that what Terry's getting at, the same as me, is that when you go into a property, you're dealing with people, potentially spirits that you don't know. So you treat them as you would somebody you don't know if you walked into a pub or if you met somebody's grandparents for the first time.
So
You
if
know, you
you
wouldn't
saw,
start poking and going, what the fuck can you do? What can you do?
yeah, but again, it's a very fine line. If you walked into a property and saw an apparition of somebody in a Nazi uniform, would you show that spirit respect? You don't know that he took part in, exterminating people or whatever. You don't know what
But not
happened
all
to
the
that
SS
Nazi.
did. Not all
Yeah,
the
so
SS did. A lot of them were soldiers.
Not all the Nazi officers were responsible for doing nasty things. So would you
Not the
tell
Waffen
me?
SS weren't. The Waffen
But
SS weren't.
would you tell me that you would give that Nazi officer respect or not? No respect,
No,
because
but that's what
again,
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
it's a hard line.
Like I said earlier on, it's the whole thing with the paedophile. You wouldn't give them respect. They
No.
don't deserve it.
Yeah, but the Nazi officer, how would you know to give that respect or not?
Well, you wouldn't, would you? But you'd have to err on the side of caution, I would think, because there are Nazi officers that weren't actually. I mean, you got the Waffen SS, which were a military wing of the SS, and they weren't. They were soldiers basically, and the same with the officership.
Yeah, it's like the Nazi. Some of them just fought on the front lines and died straight away. So
exactly. Was it they used to say not every German's a Nazi, but every Nazi's a German, as it were, in the Second World War.
Yeah, something like that. See, we went to Weeting, and it was flat that night we went, but I've been other times, and it's been crazy with activity. Again, Eddie, I think it all depends on who you go with, the conditions, the intent.
It does.
All the rest of it.
I did an investigation. Exactly, Terry. There is lots of factors involved. I did an investigation with the team over a year, and and over that year there was lots of things that couldn't be answered.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, exactly. There were lots of things that couldn't be answered, but there were lots of things that we discovered that could, and it was a case of. It was a case of bedding down there for a year, going through the different seasons, and seeing the different reactions to different points of it. So, for example, one of the women went there and she said, "Oh, Dan, haunted, really haunted." I went, "Well, how?" "Well, there's this smell of books and Bibles, and there's this dusty smell, and it's this incense smell." Okay. So when we were there, we picked up this incense, and we think it's the monk. We think it's the monk or the priest. So then we did it over a year. And what I noticed was that in the winter, or when it started to rain, then the ground would get wet, the plants would get wet, and they would emanate that smell. Yeah. Because obviously it was incense, but it had burned, it had just become absorbed into the earth. Right, so when it rained, it threw it up. Mm-hmm. So that was the answer. I mean, that might not have been it. She might have, it might have been a dip, but that was an answer. We go, well, that's part of that. Yeah. So people have said that before, so we put that down to that. And it's lots of factors you have to do. And unless you investigate somewhere long term, you're never going to really know, are you?
And this is where a lot of investigators fall down, because they don't do it long term.
Yeah.
Eddie said something quite interesting. "I never look up a site before going, as you will expect the one spirit. Then you're missing out on these spirits and that are there on the night. Do the ghost hunters calling out for one spirit I get on the night, and it collaborates with any of the history." Well, actually, Eddie, I am a spiritualist medium, and I've trained for many years in the churches and served the churches. I've also gone down the route of paranormal mediumship, which is completely different from doing your platform mediumship. I do not research the place, or I used to not research the place. I do now, because not all spirits will interact with you. Some are residual. There are so many different types of hauntings, and until you get there, you don't know what you're dealing with. If you are a good medium, whether you are sitting there and calling out as a ghost hunter, if you like, if you're switched on, and as a medium, a good medium will keep their mouth shut. A good medium will let the ghost hunters do what they need to do. A good medium will use their gifts and guides and all the tricks that they possess to go and investigate and capture that full apparition, that get those EVPs. and record a long conversation between yourself and spirit, because those are the things that are very hard to get hold of in the first place. So that is my opinion. I work differently from everybody else. The only way you'll see me spring into action and do what I do is when I'm working in people's houses and helping them with problems and issues. And to be able to do that, you also have to be DBS checked. You need counselling skills. You need grief counselling skills. And you also need to know how to just sit and listen. A good medium, you won't hear this very often. And that's just me. So I hear what you're saying, but for me personally, I disagree.
I think on the same lines as Eddie, I think the thing that annoys me with the building, you'll get ghost hunters go to a building, and what they'll do, like for example, Terry and myself, we went to years ago now, the old Ragged School in London, and everybody concentrated on they were looking for Victorian children, and it wasn't. Well, you know what? This has had many incarnations throughout the years. It even got hit by a bomb, and people were killed. So you just don't concentrate on one time period. You just open yourself up for whatever comes through.
Yeah.
But they don't. They seem to concentrate, a lot of them, on one particular time period. And of course, if they're in a building that is replicating that time period, then they're giving themselves false positives with a lot of it.
The problem is, Dan, though, a lot of people, you'll go on an investigation, and I could open myself up, and your great-granddad or Uncle Tom might pop in, hang around me because he wants me to give you a message. Now, that's not the ghost hunting side of it. You know, I could be on an events company, and I've got Auntie June from Doris over there. Rachel's brought in her great-grandmother Mary, and over in the corner is Vera waiting to speak to David.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
takes away from the ghost hunt. So, you know, at the end of the day, these mediums, these so-called mediums, and I've seen so many with black smoke come out of their mouth, and to me that's a sign of lies. I just have to walk away from them and just say, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Because I can tell when I'm fully open and I've got my guides there, I can tell when somebody's lying. And it's unfair to everybody else that is trying to investigate. It just detracts from the investigation. Just let us get on and do it, you know, and then we'll come back to you and we'll tell you what we find at the end and see if that matches what you get.
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of them don't.
So as Wild Bill says.
Oh, God. Well, you'll need to send some over here, honestly.
And Terry's hit the nail on the head as well, because there you go. Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly that.
Let's see what William says. You have really understood energy completely before you can call it positive or negative. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
With respect, most ghosty people don't. Do you know what, as well, I find, right, and this will make you laugh, William, I've seen people, mediums, so-called mediums, walk into a room. Oh, I've got to get out. I don't like that. Don't like that room. And I said to him, well, what's wrong with that room? Oh, it feels so negative. I don't like that room. There's a negative energy in there. I said, so how are you getting that feeling then? Oh, it just feels negative. Well, how are you getting that feeling? I just feel it. So because you feel it, you think it's negative. Get back in there and tell me what you feel. No, I can't go in there. It's negative. And I've gone in there and it actually feels really warm. A lot of love. There's somebody in spirit standing there wanting to be recognised or acknowledged. And 9 times out of 10, acknowledging them sends that funny, what I call pinpricky feeling away. And then they leave with love because you've actually noticed them, or you've read the thing on the wall about them, or, you know, that sort of thing. So because somebody doesn't understand it, they call it negative. That's what annoys me. And that's what I'm tying that in with William.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly, Eddie. Exactly that.
Yeah. To be honest, and I'm a medium myself. I don't know about you, Dan, but I bloody
I'm
hate
not medium.
mediums on Oh, I hate them
I'm
on
nothing.
investigations.
I'm a
Honestly,
fat
they
bloke
do.
who wobbles
They
about in the
do
dark.
my head in. Look at when we
Oh,
went.
you turn up one
We went.
investigation, there's 30 people on it, and 28 of them are mediums.
We went to the Robin Hood experience, and this poor guy, he's had all these groups in, and all these mediums have told him he's got this many spirits in there, and this is what they are, and blah blah blah. And we, oh really?
Exactly,
So
Terry.
me and you, we went in there, didn't we, Dan? And we debunked every
Pulled it all
single
apart.
claim that the medium was coming out with. And that's not just from me being a medium, it's just from being two normal, sensible people.
Yeah.
We debunked every single claim.
Everything that they said was paranormal that wasn't. I
To
mean,
the point.
but then stuff happened in there that we didn't realise, did we? And on
Yeah.
review of the footage.
But then that wasn't what the mediums were picking up, though, Dan.
But it was nothing to do with what the mediums were picking up on.
I said
Everything
to Dan,
they picked up on was either people next door, wasn't it? There was a club round the corner.
I said to you, you can ring the bloke tomorrow and tell him what we've debunked and tell him how we done it. I'll leave that one to you, Dan.
I didn't know.
Didn't you? You should have done.
I thought if he's happy, thinking, let him carry on. Because I think he was earning good money out of it, I think. Well, he was earning money out of it, whether it was good money or not, but it helped to keep his head above water.
Do you know, Zach is a very good businessman. A very good businessman.
He is a good businessman.
And that's all it is,
very good
business.
Businessman. Yeah.
If he's an extra large, he's not that big, is he?
Extra large, not big.
Eddie's lost a bit of weight then, hasn't he?
Extra large, not big.
He's been singing a lot.
But yeah.
So, but apparitions, Dan.
Apparitions, Viv.
Is there a famous apparition that you would like to experience, see, or capture yourself?
No, I would like it if, and I've always said if I could speak, communicate, or see an apparition that I could talk to, I wouldn't want to speak to kings or queens. I wouldn't want to speak to nobility or royalty or anything like that. I'd want to speak to, say, a woman who lived in a village from the 18th century.
Would you?
Because I'd like to find out the history of her life in that village and what it was like and her experiences and what the people were like and, you know, her family, and just to find out the social history of it.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that, and that's what I said to people when I said the thing is that when I go ghost hunting, for me, it's as much about the history as it is about the paranormal. Because it's the thought that you could be communicating with somebody from those time periods.
Do you know who I'd like to?
Different outlook on life, perspective, and what have you.
Do you know who I would like to see?
It's intriguing. Go on.
Which sort of ties up a little bit with what you're saying about the history. I would like to see and have a conversation with one of the builders of what's it called? I've gone blank. You know, up near Glastonbury, Salisbury.
Oh, what, like Stonehenge or
Stonehenge? I'd like to go and see one of the builders of Stonehenge and find out exactly what the F that is all about.
Yeah.
And why. Where did you get the stones from?
Yeah.
What was the purpose of building that? Did anyone famous come in your time to it? Did you see it in its entirety after it had been built?
Yeah.
Tell me. Just so
what was it like when it was first built? Yeah.
Just so I can go up to these people that say, oh, Stonehenge this, and you get somebody else, oh, Stonehenge that. And then you get Stonehenge this, and then Stonehenge that. And you know what? I would have the truth, and then I'd go up to them and go,
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, ordinary people. That's who I'd want to communicate with. That's who I'd like to speak to. Ordinary people ordinary working class people that lived a normal life in a little village somewhere tucked out of the way, just to find out about them, their history.
Here's a question for you, Dan. What about the Headless Horseman? How does he communicate without his head?
How the fuck does he see where he's going? Pardon my French.
Exactly. just stop him. Go, whoa. Just stop him.
Yeah.
How the hell do you know where you're going?
I know. There's loads of horses and they've got no heads. Well, how do they get there then?
Well,
they know exactly where they're going. They know how to get back. How's that work?
If you watch Simply Spooky last Wednesday, you would have noticed that there was 24 horses' head found under 24 horses' heads found under a floor, and that was for acoustics.
What?
Oh, I have to try that one. Right. So
it'd have to be Bill.
He likes one of them.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, but Terry, some people do talk some absolute shite.
It was McAlpines, I think, wasn't it? The contractor.
It's the contractor. Well, we sure it weren't Morrison's or Wimpy.
Murphy's. That's it. That's Murphy's built it.
Oh, is it Murphy or Taylor Woodrow?
Taylor Woodrow, yeah. It'd need to be Bill, wouldn't it? It'd need to be very well, unless it didn't have a head as well.
Oh dear! But apparitions, they are strange things because they do show themselves in all sorts of weird and wonderful places. In the back of taxis, there's a famous one where that woman, she took a picture. It was her husband after his death. That one that you showed by the table, that man sitting there. You never know, and in broad daylight, people think this ghost hunting malarkey is just at night.
I know.
We've tried to drum it into them that some of the best photographs have been taken during daylight hours.
Yeah.
Seriously, me and Dan go out during the day.
Yeah.
We've done that many a time.
If it's there at night, it'll be there in the day, won't it? It's not,
Yeah.
There's no hard and fast rules why they won't come out during the day.
Yeah.
Just like a mindset a lot of people have got themselves into, isn't it, really?
I mean,
watching too many Scooby-Doo and stuff like that, I think.
When you think about it, with the Earth rotates a certain way, it takes a certain amount of time, and each year, didn't it gain 5 seconds or 3 seconds or something?
Yes, it gains, yeah.
So over the period of time that you're looking at the haunting, maybe that flipped on its head and it's now just daytime haunting and not the nighttime haunting for those residual hauntings.
Yeah. I mean, and also the Gregorian calendar changed, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, people go, oh, we're going to go out on this date. It's like, well, no, it actually didn't happen on that date. You're way out there because the Gregorian calendar changed to this.
Yeah.
Or changed to the Gregorian calendar. But people don't take like that into consideration. That actually
did happen. There was one in a taxi in Ghostbusters.
There was one in a taxi. He was driving it, wasn't he? The one in the taxi.
Yeah, Slimer. No, but there was an actual apparition of an old English taxi cab.
There was, yeah. She's in the back, isn't she?
Yeah.
Good. Do you know what, Terry? I saw what I can only describe as a full body apparition. I mean, this was solid, and it was a girl. And I was coming back from an investigation about 2 years ago, maybe a bit more than that now, 3 or 4 years ago, possibly. And she was standing by the side of the road. And the only reason I caught view of her was because the light car in front of me, as it turned off the roundabout, there was nothing in the middle of nowhere. Turned off this roundabout, you could just catch a glimpse of her. And I thought, what's that? And as I got closer, I slowed down, and I could see this girl standing there with a coat on, wellies, long skirt, and looked like a 1970s carrier bag. And for the life of me, and she was just standing there, slightly turned, so you couldn't really see her head, but she had a hood up. So she was dressed in like 1970s clothes. And I thought, first thing, that's not right. There's something not right about this picture. And I don't really see stuff. And I thought, there's something not right about this picture. And I thought, maybe that's a ghost. Maybe that's a spirit. Maybe that's a spirit. And then I drove on and thought, yeah, I'm going to carry. But I thought in the end, no, I can't, because that's someone's daughter. If there's somebody out there, a girl out there on her own in that rain, in the middle of nowhere, then she needs taken to a police station or something, or we need to get the police out or what have you, or an ambulance or whatever. Could be somebody's had a breakdown or what have you. You don't know. And if that was my daughter, I'd want people to do that for her, for me. So I went back, and she was gone. And there was nothing but fields as far as the eye can see. One little roundabout and there was fields either side. And nothing.
In answer to his question, did you see her in colour?
She was in colour, detail and colour.
So in answer to your question, Terry, do you think the olden times was all just black and white? No. It's what the films portray it to be in black and white. So yes, you are going to see things in colour. It depends on how spirit want to portray themselves and what's going to get your attention. But because you see them in black and white doesn't mean that they lived in black and white. They did live in colour, Terry. You've got to think about this. If they show you themselves in full colour, are you going to be scared? Well, they might be, so I'll show myself in black and white. If you're not going to be scared, which they know very well that you're not going to be scared, they will portray themselves as they would when they were there in the living. Why wouldn't they? So that's the question answered for you. Not everything comes in black.
I think the only apparitions I've ever seen have been in colour.
Yeah, I have as well.
Well, I've ever seen any in sort of black and white or that sort of...
I have seen residuals in black and white.
Have you? But then I suppose that's like a tape, isn't it? Wouldn't be all the Sarsons out. They do come from Wales, yeah.
Actually, you don't know. They're actually saying now that the blue stones came from somewhere else. So not all the blue stones they're believing came from Wales. So that's history's rewriting itself. The archaeologists have found more stuff. So nobody knows.
No, that's part of its draw, though, isn't it? That's part of its magic, I think, that nobody knows.
Yeah,
it's all supposition and the mystery of it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it was built for, I think they're fantastic, amazing, and beautiful. Whatever it was built for, they're just phenomenal. They really are.
Yeah. So, any other questions about apparitions?
So Bill put one up. I've seen energy and colour in the Confederate battlefields around here in the USA. Yeah. Yeah, I bet there's a lot of spirits from the Civil War floating around those fields.
Did we miss any questions at all? I don't think so.
The colour receptors in your eye are turned. The colour receptors in your eye are turned off to light. They might be, Terry, yeah?
Not in my eyes, they're not. I see colour in the dark. Definitely see colour in the dark.
What are they called? Rods and in the eye. We've got rods. I can't think what they're called now. Rods and something.
Yeah, Bill does as well. He sees colour with the lights off. I do. Definitely. And again, people that are colourblind, they might again see spirits separately than how we see them in colour. So, you know.
Cones and rods. That's it, Terry. Thank you. Thank you, mate. That's it. Cones and rods.
So, right. We are coming to the end of tonight's show. Dan, have you got any last words to say about apparitions, apart from Bill, who sees better with the lights off?
No. I have, like any paranormal investigator, the more things I see and experience, and the more confused I get.
He says they found where the blue stones were cut out of the rocks at Pembrokeshire, Wales. They also found a lot that was going on in the Orkneys, and that was recently, in the last 2 years. So, which has brought big questions about Stonehenge. Wasn't the first, but anyway, that's another show. We won't go into it now.
But it's intriguing, isn't it? It's interesting. It's interesting. I think they were called Presley stones, the blue ones, weren't they?
I don't know. All that matters to me is the slaughter stone and who did they slaughter and what was that about and did they suffer? I'm a bit gory.
But it's interesting. It's interesting, isn't it? It's just interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, the more answers you think you're getting, or the closer to an answer you get, the more questions get thrown up.
It's like history, though. History is always rewriting itself. The experts and the archaeologists find something, they do their dating, and then they say it's this. And then all these years later, they find something else to blow that theory out of the water.
True.
Because that's all they are, is their theories.
It's all theory. It's all supposition and theories, isn't it? Unless you were there, you're not going to really know.
Exactly.
I mean, it's interesting and intriguing. And as they say, history is written by the victors. What
are we talking about next week, Dan? What do you want? It's your turn to pick a subject, because I did this week.
I'll try on different clothes and I'll ask the question, does my bum look big in this?
Singapore theory?
Yeah, we could use that, a Singapore theory, or...
Singapore theory and other experiments, yeah? Other paranormal experiments.
Experiments is a good one. Experiments is a good one. I'll be intrigued and interested to see what other guys... Oh, no, the rods he's on about, Eddie, are in the actual eye.
Eyeball rods.
They're in the eyes, yeah, they're in the eyes, the rods and...
Yeah, but I agree with Eddie. I do agree with Eddie. All the rods.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Yeah,
no, they
definitely.
are. Yeah, a lot of them are. I mean, they've already shown that now, haven't they?
Yeah. So Singapore theory,
about
paranormal experiments. Well, keep it simple, so that'll
include. I'd like to talk about one week. I'd like to talk about. I would like to talk about orbs and light.
No, we do. Listen, next week are we doing this one? Because then I'm the week after.
Yeah, do that one. What I'm saying is that one week I would like to talk about orbs and light anomalies.
Right.
Let's say, even though I discredit most of it,
let's save that one.
I've seen or experienced that.
Let's save that one till the end of the year, because people will be in a better mood at the end of the year because it's nearly Christmas, and then we can have our heated debates on orbs because it will be heated.
I mean, it's no different than any other debate on the paranormal, is it? Really, people have got differences of opinion, and nobody really knows what's right or what's wrong.
Yeah,
we come up with our own conclusions, I think. Yeah, I know. Especially if they've now discovered Viking.
Yes, I've been watching the Viking Stone. I've been watching the Viking Stone. Yeah. Oh, it just made me laugh.
It's interesting.
So next week is paranormal experiments. So we will chat all things paranormal experiments then. We might be giving away or looking at some of our experiments that we're doing. There'll be some that we can't talk about because until they've aired on Striking Midnight, we don't want to go down that road. But we will talk about paranormal experiments, and everyone in the chat, please come on board and talk about paranormal experiments that you've used and if you've got results. And
hi, Robert.
Hi, Robert.
Sorry, Robert's just popped in. We are not alone indeed, Robert. We are not, my friend.
Yes. Definitely.
No, I know. I think I'm talking about like Europeans as opposed to like Native Americans. I suppose they were, weren't they? Because I think they came over through the Beringi land strip, didn't they? The Bering land strip when it was from sort of Siberia. Who knows? We're all on this great big beautiful ball. Let's enjoy it together.
Exactly.
Doesn't matter where you come from.
Next week, 7:00, we are talking about paranormal experiments. Please get involved, and thank you to everyone that came into the chat. As always, it's a pleasure having you there, and we love each and every one of you, apart from Terry.
Yes.
No, I'm only joking, Terry. I'm only joking, Terry. We do love you.
What did you say? I didn't catch that. What did you say?
I said we love each and every one of you, apart from Terry, and you said yes.
Love Terry.
We do love Terry. We do love Terry. But with that said, tomorrow, Simply Spooky 8 o'clock, we will be there with a very good guest. We'll put the posters up tomorrow. Hopefully you can join us then. If not, it will be next week, same time. Same time here at the Things Network on a Tuesday.
I love you, Terry.
On next Tuesday. We'll catch you then. But until then, stay safe, everyone, and have a good time.
Stay safe, guys.
And we'll see you next week.
Take it easy, guys.